Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. You're joined today with me, Emma, and my two handsome pugs, Oscar and Henry. In today's video, we are staying at the Harper in North Norfolk, which you can see behind me here. Let's go for a tour. I'll show you guys around. Foodie, skip ahead now. Oh, we've arrived at the Harper. Oh. Cute little Norfolk map. So this is the bar area. I'm guessing this is dog friendly, but I need to find out. I'm loving all of the colourful chairs. This is very vibey. Then heading outside into the courtyard. This is just the nicest space, isn't it? I can imagine drinks here in the summer from the daytime to the evening. It's getting late, so I'll show you guys around the rooms in the morning, but now for the pool. I like the beams.
Yeah, very nice.
There's no lights. Oh! After a bit of dancing around, we finally got the lights on, and this is the changing room. Ooh, we've got a hairdryer and some toiletries. How nice is this pool? And the best thing is you book a time slot so you have private use of the pool. We've actually booked it for tomorrow evening as well, and I love that. The fact that you get private use is amazing. I've never seen that before. I'm a terrible swimmer, don't judge. Back in the room with my boys, just waiting for Mum to come over. We're going to have a cocktail and watch a documentary.
He was in the military. He had a great head on his shoulders, and my dad was...
Just minding my own business, running a bath, having a pamper, and the boys are judging. Oh, it was actually a real luxury having the room to myself. I never did find out if dogs were allowed on the bed, but the fact that there's no dog bed, I'm assuming it's fine.
Our latest cold case is from the evening of May the 11th.
I watched about 5 seconds of this. Good morning, vlog. So this is the view from our room. You can see the pool down there. The sun is finally set. Risen. Right, we're just heading down to breakfast. Let me show you what's on offer. What have we got on the menu this morning? I like when a place does a la carte breakfast rather than just buffet. What should we have? That looks like nice apple juice. Oh, the berries, man. Oh, look at those pastries. This bread selection looks fab. Look at these butters. I love these little fancy butters. Get way too excited about butter. Oh my, look at this fruit. I've gone a bit much. This is honestly one of my favourite things when hotels do fresh fruit like this. And trust me, they have not scrimped. They've got the good fruit here. Yummy. Ruined yours. Okay, I'm already impressed by this breakfast and the hot food hasn't even come out yet. I'm a coffee snob and I can confirm the coffee is great. Pastry too. And that is fresh. How nice is our view of the courtyard? It's so beautiful down there. So our hot food has arrived and I'm really excited to tuck in. How good does this look? Those tomatoes. Oh, it's hot.
It's very hot.
It's good sausage though, but that's really hot. Eggs nice. Ooh, that hash brown's quite different. Really shredded. Okay. Breakfast is done. So let me show you guys around the room. We are staying in a biggest room. So they go big, bigger and biggest. We're in the biggest. Let me show you what we've got. So as you come into the room, for starters, these lamps were on, and also this lamp over here. They're quite sort of subtle, but it's a nice touch. I like when you come in and you've got the lamps on, Also, the radio was on when we got here, which is always nice. Bit of Radio 3, love it. So we have got this 4-poster bed, which the boys have jumped on, so it's not looking quite as fresh as it was when we got here. But yeah, we've got a nice 4-poster. I would say that is definitely a king, if not maybe even a super king. It's quite big. And then you've got this picture above the bed. You've got your 2 little bedside tables and your 2 lamps, which were both on, like I said. And then in front of the bed, you've got this sort of sofa-y thing, which Oscar is modelling. This is actually quite big. Everything in here is big. It doesn't look that big on camera, but that is a decent sized bed and a decent sized little sofa. It's sort of big enough for 2 people. I think it's one of those like cuddle sofas. So it's quite cozy for 2, but if you come with like, as part of a couple, it's quite nice and cozy. I wouldn't necessarily want to sit on it with like, boys, why do you always hump in these videos? Boys, Oscar? I'm sorry, Hens, I'm sorry about him. But yeah, you can clearly see it's big enough for me and 2 humping pugs, so it's a decent size. And this headrest thing, you can also like angle it up so you can sit. Oh, that's actually really comfortable. There's a TV behind you, which I'll show you in a minute, or you can pop it down so that when you're in bed watching TV, you can still see the TV. How do you do it? There we go. So you can have it all the way down or you can have it up, which is quite nice. I like having sort of multiple areas to sit in a hotel room. So then if we turn around, you have literally got the biggest TV I've ever seen in a hotel. And again, this does not do it justice. This TV must be at least 50 inches. Honestly, it's absolutely massive. Yeah, it's got to be at least 50 inches. It's huge. And then in front of the TV, you've got this little desk area and chair, which is very comfortable. So this is good if you're staying with a friend or a family member. One of you can sit here and watch TV and the other one can just pull out this chair. So you've got a bit more space. Me and Mum watched a Netflix series last night. Not a series, it was a documentary. Jailbird, Love on the Run. I don't know if anyone's watched it, but it's definitely worth a watch if you're into that sort of prison documentary thing. Then over on the desk, we've got a little Harper branded notebook and a Harper branded pencil. I don't massively understand why it's a pencil rather than a pen, but that's just me. I'm more of a pen kind of gal. And we've got a phone over here, which to be honest, I will never use. I would probably just ring the main number on my mobile if I wanted reception, but you know, for people who like phones. And then coming into this corner, you've got this really cool old school style locker. And I've spotted the ironing board down the side, so I'm guessing there's an iron in here. Let's see what's inside. So I've actually already been in here and put all of my stuff in, so I'll show you what I've got. So in terms of what came with the room, you've got a pair of flip-flops each, which is cool. Most hotel rooms come with slippers. There is a pool here, which is why there are flip-flops, which I do like. In an ideal world, flip-flops and slippers would be good. And I'm guessing, I'm not 100%, but I'm guessing these are reusable, as in you don't take them home, they get like cleaned and the next guests use them. And then you've also got 2 robes, which these aren't branded. They're actually very different. I've never seen robes like this. They're sort of half toweling, so the inside is toweling, and then the outside is almost a little bit silky. They've got pockets, which is always nice. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about these robes. I don't know if I really like them or if I think they're a bit weird. But they're not bad, like they're good quality, they're nice and soft and whatnot. They're just very different. I'm still making my mind up. And then you've got a selection of hangers. There is a hairdryer. Let's see what it is. So it's a Babyliss, so it's not the best, not the worst. It looks in pretty good condition, so I'm quite happy with that, to be honest. And it's nice that it comes in a little bag. And you've also got an attachment, which I'm not really sure what that's for. I don't really use a hairdryer, to be honest, but it's nice that it's there. And then you've also got an iron. I won't lie, this is like the cheapest iron I've ever seen. But beggars can't be choosers. It's nice to have an iron, and to be honest, I've packed like shirts this weekend and things that need ironing, so I do appreciate it. So yeah, I've packed it all up with my stuff already, so excuse the mess. But it's a pretty good space for storing your stuff, to be honest. I quite like it when you can just put all of your stuff out the way and not have to look at it, basically. And then I've also spotted behind here, you've got a little safe in the wall, which is quite rare. I don't actually know what's sort of behind here, because this is very deep. I don't know if this does it justice, but this is like the full length of my arm, and I still don't reach the back. So I'm intrigued to know what is inside this. So then moving over the other side of the room, you've got a little suitcase stand, which again is handy. It's nice to get all of your stuff off the floor. And then in this corner, you've got a full-length mirror, which I always appreciate. Sorry, kicking my dog. And this box thing. I think this is just decorative, to be honest. But again, it's really hard to appreciate the scale of this box. Like, it's just absolutely massive. And considering that's just a design piece, yeah, this room is huge. Also, I've put the bin up there because Henry is a thief. So because we're in Norfolk, it's only right that I wear my favourite perfume today by Norfolk Natural Living. I bought this recently in Suffolk, and the smell is so good. It's not cheap. This little tiny bottle was like £25, I think, so it is really expensive, to be honest. But the smell is insane. I literally save this for my favourite trips. And yeah, the fact that we're in Norfolk, it was meant to be. So if I head on over here, this is the drink station. I won't lie, I have cleared all of the snacks out. So in here, there was a big bag of ready salted kettle chips, which we ate last night. And in here, there were 2 freshly baked triple chocolate chip cookies, which were delish. Right, let me show you what is on offer in the drinks tray. So we've got quite a decent selection of Nespresso style pods. You've got 5 decaf and 5 regular. And then in terms of teas, they're all Twinings, but you've got everyday tea, English breakfast decaf, Earl Grey, cranberry and raspberry, green tea, chamomile, peppermint, and lemon and ginger. So a very good tea selection. You've got sugars and sweeteners, and then in the fridge you have got fresh milk. Actually, I lie, I don't have fresh milk because I don't drink milk, but my mum has fresh milk. They also give you a soft drink, so I've got strawberry and rhubarb. Mum had elderflower in hers. They also give you a beer, which I did open last night. I am not a massive beer drinker, so I drank half, and I'm saving half for tonight. And then there was a little cocktail, which I will overlay, which was very yummy. So when you come into the bathroom, this is what you see. So on one side, I've got a bath. Toiletry-wise, we've got these Irene Forte products. You've got a conditioner, shampoo and shower gel. I do appreciate that there's conditioner because there isn't always. I don't love these toiletries, I will be honest. They're not the best toiletries, I've never heard of the brand, but I do appreciate that there is shampoo, conditioner and shower gel. It's a nice big tub as well. So I'll be enjoying another bath this evening. And then over this side of the room, you've got the sink. Again, the same brand of toiletries. You've got a soap and a body lotion. This little mirror for doing your makeup. Hi. And then toilet. And we've also got a freestanding shower, which is actually massive, to be fair. It's got a nice head for washing your hair. And then over here, it's got a big waterfall head. So it's a very generous size shower. So another thing that I haven't yet spoken to you guys about is the pricing of the Harper. So for this biggest room, you're looking at around £330 per room per night, which is for 2 people and it includes breakfast for 2. You probably could get a bit of a deal on that, to be honest. And I'm guessing if you go more out of season, the price will obviously vary. But same likewise, if you go in the summer, it's obviously going to be more expensive. But yeah, you're looking at around the £330 mark a night. The quality of food is excellent. I will say that breakfast was really impressive. And the whole hotel is beautiful. You can see the courtyard behind me there. So yeah, it is a gorgeous hotel, but let me know what you guys think. Do you think it's worth the 300 or around the £300 price mark? So we've arrived back at the hotel. We've actually had quite a full day out in North Norfolk. If you guys haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel because I have made a separate video on that. Right, we're going to go in for dinner now, so I'll show you guys what is on offer at Stanley's. So first thing is to choose a drink. I think Mum's going to go with the passion fruit fizz mocktail. This looks amazing. Let me show you guys the rest of the menu. I already know what I'm having. I'm going to go for a French Sauvignon, but feel free to pause if you want to have a look at any of the prices. It's quite a full menu, to be honest. Cheers! They've brought us some complimentary bread and butter to start. Now let's have a look through the menu. It's definitely not the cheapest menu going, but everything sounds so well curated. To start, Mum had the barbecue octopus, which actually wasn't on the menu, but oh my goodness, it was the tastiest thing going. And I had the pork belly. For mains, I had the fillet of beef with the foie gras. Turns out I'm not the biggest foie gras fan, but the beef was gorge. We ordered a side of fries, the creamiest mash going, and the tastiest broccoli. And Mum had the halibut, which also came with a little croquette. For dessert, we went wild. I had the salted caramel tart with the caviar. I've never had caviar, wouldn't have it again. Mum had the chocolate and coriander dish. Good morning, guys. Got my coffee. Got my pugs, we're all snuggly. I've just taken the boys out to have a little walk around the courtyard to have their morning wheeze. So they're all like cosy and happy now. It's still quite dark out there. I must have left the room at like 6:30, so the sun hadn't quite risen. It's getting to that time of year, people. But while I was out there, I noticed that they had bikes that you can hire. And I've since had a little Google and it turns out they're free. They've also got wellies, which is a nice touch too. Henry's favourite place to sit is like in between my legs. It's very sweet. So I just wanted to go through a few things from yesterday. I slept so well last night. Like I really did sleep very well. I didn't want to wake up this morning. My alarm went off at 6 and I was like, no, give me more time. Yeah, I had a really good night's sleep. This bed is super comfy. It's big. I think it's a king, but it does feel like quite a big king. And it's nice being in the bed on my own for a change with my puggies. Speaking of puggies, one of the things I wanted to go through is some of the dog-friendly points of this hotel. One thing I did notice on check-in, which is quite rare, is that there weren't any dog beds or dog bowls in the room. I luckily brought one with me, so I had one proper dog bowl, and then in my walking bag I've got like a collapsible dog bowl. So I have been feeding the dogs in those, which is fine, it's doable, and as a dog owner I probably should bring my own, but I did expect dog bowls, to be honest. I think it is an essential, isn't it? So I did expect dog bowls, particularly when they do charge for dogs, so it's £25 per night. I did have a little Google, and it turns out that you can request a dog bed. It didn't say anything about bowls. No one sort of mentioned it on check-in. There's nothing in the room that says if you've got a dog you can ask for dog beds, dog bowls, etc. But they did give us a little doggy welcome pack, which we're yet to open, so I'll do that with the dogs later. So it is Sir Worcester's welcome pack. So it's sort of ready made up, but they've branded it the Harper, which is quite cool. Let's see what's inside. So inside we have got a tub, whatever it's called, Sleepy Bones, bedtime and relaxation treat pot for dogs. It looks nice. Have one in a minute. And there's a rope tug toy, and then a couple of poo bags at the bottom. And what is that pattern? Funny. Right, taste testers. One for Henry, one for Oski. 10 out of 10, boys. I did also see online that there is a hose somewhere for dogs, or a hose, a shower, I don't know exactly what it is. I had a walk out this morning with the boys and couldn't really see it, to be honest. But there are also by reception two like wicker baskets, one for clean dog towels and one for used dog towels. So it's probably quite obvious it must be like right near reception. I think I'm just missing something. We found the dog wash. We spotted this bath before and we were like, why is there a bath out there? And we've just realised that it's for the dogs. So that's handy. But yeah, other than the lack of bowls and beds, they're very accommodating on the dog front. The staff were all really friendly towards the dogs. Everyone sort of asked their name, giving them lots of fuss and attention. Dogs are allowed in the casual dining side of the restaurant, but they're not allowed in the fine dining side. So we've actually been leaving them in the rooms, which they're completely fine with. That's totally okay. So yeah, we've been leaving them in the rooms to go down to breakfast and dinner, because it sounded like, particularly with dinner, if you wanted the fancy menu, and I'll come back to that, I don't think you can have that in the area that the dogs are allowed in. I think the doggy area serves more like burgers, pizzas, things like that. But yeah, there is an eating area where dogs can join you, and dogs are allowed to be left in the room, which I do appreciate, to be honest, particularly with the pool. It just means like me and Mum could go down together and not worry and not have to do it in relay. So then going on to the food, we had a lovely meal last night. It turns out that the chef has won Michelin Key. Apparently it's a new thing that they're introducing for hotels. So they're not full Michelin stars, but they're part of the Michelin Guide, and it basically recognises them as sort of Michelin style chefs. And to be honest, you can tell the food was incredible. We had they brought over complimentary bread to start with, which was the best bread I've ever had. It was honestly so tasty. And it was served with a caramelised butter. This butter, it smelt like toffee. So it smelt like toffee, and then you spread it on. It had a layer of salt on the top. Oh, I can't even explain it. It was just like a toffee butter with salty, flaky bits. So tasty, and the freshest bread ever from the local bakery. So they brought that over complimentary. Then I had the pork belly, and Mum had the barbecue octopus, which I didn't think I liked octopus, but it was absolutely delish. The tentacles, legs, whatever they're called, were like really thick, and they were like barbecued. They almost tasted like meaty. We actually thought that the octopus was the pork to begin with, because it just had that really like meaty consistency. Yeah, really tasty. Mine was good too, but the octopus was really good. And then for mains, I had the fillet of beef, which again was just delish, super tender. They didn't even give me a steak knife, and I did not need one. It just cut through like butter. Mum had the halibut. I think she had like a whitefish, which came in a bowl, like as the fish dish, but then the chef also prepared a halibut croquette on the side, because apparently he likes to play with his food, so that was just a little add-on. And then we ordered the mashed potato, which was amazing, the fries, which were just fries, and the tender stem broccoli, which was definitely up there with the top broccoli I've ever eaten. I've had some nice broccoli in my time. It tasted sort of barbecue-y, and yeah, just really good. And then for dessert, I had the dessert it wasn't my cup of tea. It was really good, and you could really appreciate it. But there were a lot of flavours, and it was a bit out of my comfort zone, I guess. So we shared two. We shared the salted caramel tart with yuzu and topped with banana ice cream and caviar. I've never had caviar. I don't like caviar. I sort of went in at the beginning for quite a big mouthful of the fish eggs, and it tasted fishy. But I can see where they're coming from, because the caviar was salty, so the saltiness of that mixed with the caramel, I do get it, but it was just a bit out of my comfort zone. It was nice to try though. And I've also decided I don't like yuzu. I don't know why, it's just one of those flavours that it's just not my cup of tea. And then the other dessert we shared it was sort of like a layered chocolate, it's quite hard to explain, like a layered chocolate dessert, but it had quite a lot of coriander in it. I'm quite a big coriander fan, but it was just different for the senses, like trying to work out what was going on. But yeah, it had like layers of white chocolate in. Apparently these like layers took the chef like a week and a half to make. I can't explain it, I'm not doing it justice, but the desserts felt very Michelin starred. Like, yeah, they were very like well thought out, well put together, but just a little bit out of my comfort zone, I would say. And then the last thing that I think I've missed is just talking about staff in general. The staff have been amazing. The staff in the restaurant were really, really top tier. The restaurant was quite quiet, and to be honest, in general, the hotel has been really quiet. And considering it's like the beginning of October, it's not sort of that out of season. yeah, it's a little bit dead, to be honest, which is a real shame. The restaurant, there must have been maybe 4 tables in there and maybe 4 members of staff. But service was brilliant. They were really attentive. They would come over during every course, ask how we're finding it, talk to us about the flavours. They understood everything on that menu. Yeah, just really, really exceptional service. You can tell there was like a sommelier. If you had deep pockets and you were coming here for a real dining experience with all of the paired drinks, he would be exceptional. He really would. Our pockets aren't that deep and we're not massive drinkers, so we didn't really make the most of him. But yeah, you can just tell all of the staff are trained to a really high standard. Yeah, very impressed. And then at check-in, we were shown around by a lovely man called Keith. He was really attentive. He sort of went through everything. He showed us to our room. He had a little chat. He was just really friendly, really good service. He remembered our names, remembered the boys' names. So whenever we walked past reception, he'd be like, "Oh, hi Emma, how are you doing?" sort of thing. Which I like it. I like that a lot. You can tell he's had a lot of experience in hospitality. I think on the whole, you can just tell that they pay their staff well and they care about the quality of their staff. It's not a case of hiring the cheapest people. They hire well. So yeah, I think that is everything that I needed to cover off. We have had a lovely stay. I need to get myself ready now. We're going out for another full day in North Norfolk and we're also travelling home today. So I'm going to be absolutely shattered by the time we get back. Right guys, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Thanks for watching guys, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye. Look at my dog.
Don't be afraid, won't let you fall, girl.